Jules, we're not done because we have more quick hits.
Yes.
Barcelona lose at home to Las Palmas for the first time in more than half a century. Jules, Hansi Flick says their physical level has dropped.
Yeah, and you know what, Hansi, if you'd been listening to the show, and Gab especially, he would have told you to rotate because that physically at some point you would see the players struggling a little bit. We've said that, we talked about the high line, and at some point, if physically you're not super fit to prevent the pass from coming or to be able to run back, the high line is going to be risky. And guess what? Even Sandro Ramirez, of all people, scores. Yeah.
Now, all that said, and thank you for the shout out, Jules.
Yeah, sure.
He did rotate. We saw Gavi start. We saw Pablo Torres start, which is not something I need to see again. We saw him make those changes.
We did, a bit late, I think.
Well, for me, the thing is, and they still had enough chances to score, right? And they could have easily won this game, and it's down to defensive mistakes. But the fundamental point about the high line is it is high risk, high reward. When you make a mistake, you look really, really stupid.
Absolutely.
And this is something he needs to address. I think you keep the high line for certain games.
Yeah.
And in other games, give yourself a system that's better suited. Oh, and put Frankie de Jong on the pitch.
They've dropped 8 points now, Gabby, in the last 3 league games. It's a lot of points. Manchester United rolled to a 4-0 win over Everton as Joshua Zirkzee and Marcus Rashford bagged 2 goals each. Gab, signs of progress?
I think so. I mean, I think it was a bit rough at the beginning.
0.7 XG and 4 goals.
And they got some nice deflections.
Yeah.
But can we focus on the positives, please? That, in a physical, high energy opponent, I thought Kobbie Mainoo shows that despite all the mean things Mark Ogden says about him as an athlete, I think he can probably hang in the 2.
Yeah, I agree.
Joshua Zirkzee, despite all the even meaner things he says.
Mark Ogden, who wants to get rid,
No, but now you see what Zirkzee can do. He is not a conventional center forward.
Exactly.
And he can pay passes like that. He can give you different things. And maybe he's a solution in that role. Also, Amad Diallo, I said this before. We called that one. We should give ourselves a pat on the back.
And he's so quick that even maybe Branthwaite didn't realize how quick he was because he kept nicking the ball of him.
Yeah, not a good day for Branthwaite and Tarkowski. It's time! It's time! It's Texter time! Botafogo survive a red card in less than 2 minutes to beat Atletico Mineiro and win the Copa Libertadores. Jules, time to show JT the other Archer George, the off-brand Archer George, if you will, and Luis Enrique. Some more love?
The other Luis Enrique as well, not the same spelling, but I mean, this game was good because it was considering it was played. Obviously, it was in Argentina, the final. It was still a decent kickoff time for us in Europe to be able to watch, not like at 3 a.m., for example. So it was good to watch, especially with a red card after a minute or so. As you
really
said.
Ugly, stupid.
Very
Gregory, come on.
From Gregory, really bad. And then you think, maybe just John Textor's
aura
jinx coming, because Botafogo had never won the Copa Libertadores before, despite the great team that they had in the 50s and early 60s with Garrincha, etc. They never won it. And they played really well at 10. Bit disappointed by Atletico Mineiro, who both had a lot of players who went to play in Europe and come. Even Alan, remember Alan?
Yeah.
Napoli Alan I was like, wow, okay, even Alan. So it was great to watch, and well done to Botafogo, John Textor, Arthur George, really good coach, Luis Enrique, their star, the former Betis player, and Thiago Almeida as well. Of course, we talked about MLS. We'll talk about MLS later, and
he's not one of the old guys.
No, he's not, and he's supposed to go to Lyon in January, because obviously he's bought by Lyon on loan from Lyon to Botafogo. But now he might stay and go to the Club World Cup because Botafogo will be there.
I thought when it was the early card, I thought, this is going to get ugly. I love the fact that the BBC put it on television in this country.
Yeah.
I didn't have to look for some weird stream. I even had Mark Ogden even was watching. He was concerned about the kits clashing.
Right.
And I thought to myself, maybe you need a better television or glasses. Nice to see my boy Edu Vargas come on. He should have made it 2-2, and then we'd be talking a different tale. But Atletico Mineiro, man, guys, you got to take the ball to the opposition. Like, you have to go and take some shots and not just Hulk over and over again, crossing the ball.
I know. Kylian Mbappe, sorry, it's for you, Gabby. Kylian Mbappe bounces back from his missed penalty at Anfield against Liverpool in midweek, and Real Madrid beat Getafe 2-0. Gab, a very good weekend for your boy Carlo Ancelotti.
An excellent weekend. I was curious to see what the reaction was going to be to Mbappe. He scored a nice goal. Maybe could have even had a hat trick in this game, but whatever, we quibble. He got a tremendous reception, which was really good. Barcelona lost. More good news for Real Madrid. Raúl Asensio gave another solid 90 minutes.
Good, I think.
Getafe not particularly good. And on the penalty, since they've decided to share it around, Uncle Jude got to convert the penalty with a little hop. I didn't know he did that. Good weekend all around. But let's sort it out in the Champions League, yeah? Paris Saint-Germain held at home by Nantes 1-1 as the visitors decide not to run onto the pitch and cause trouble.
Yeah.
My boy Gigi Donnarumma returns between the sticks. I'm assuming Marat Safonov has now been deported. Jules,
back to Krasnodar. Yeah.
Your boys had enough chances to score half a dozen in the highlights I saw.
Yeah.
So why did I hear boos at the end of the Parc des Princes? Do PSG fans not understand this?
They're getting frustrated. I think some of the players, maybe more worryingly for Luis Enrique, are getting frustrated.
Well, convert your chances and you'll be 5-0 up and you won't be frustrated.
2.6, something like that. They had some big ones. Gonzalo Ramos was back and Luis Enrique had a bit of a dig at the media after the game. He said, well, you talk to me about force 9 all the time before, where you play Asensio, Kangin Lee, blah, blah, blah. And then we had a real number 9 now, and we still could not take our chances. So the 9 is not a problem. One player is not a problem in the team.
Maybe it's one coach?
Which is true. Well, yeah. So we'll see.
Did he explain why he put Donnarumma back?
And he just basically said before the game that he picked Safonov because he was better to play out with the ball than Donnarumma, and that was it really. But we knew that before. We knew he picked him because he was supposedly better with the ball and on crosses. So it was.
We saw how good he is on crosses.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it was very ironic for that. And at the time where we talk a lot in France about Mo Salah and potential discussions with PSG, then Ousmane Dembélé, who plays on that right wing, was on the bench and he didn't enjoy that at all.
Salah phenomenal, would make any team better, but surely Paris Saint-Germain has other priorities, and surely he's not a fit for Luis Enrique.
Well, you should know now what that PSG don't always do. It's the most logical. Chelsea spanked Aston Villa 3-0 at Stamford Bridge. Gab, you were there. Did they look as good in person as they were for me in front of my television?
In the second half, yes. In the first half, it could have finished 2-2.
First half was weird. Sometimes nobody was moving.
Yeah.
Everybody was walking on the pitch. I was like, what's going on?
So Villa played at a really slow pace. They looked tired. But still, they had those two chances in the first half. Second half, Villa completely disappeared. What I like is Chelsea are not, what we're seeing is they're clicking. They're not Cole Palmer dependent, even though he scored a phenomenal third goal. I thought the Caicedo at right back stepping into midfield thing worked pretty well. I don't know that we need to see it again because the reality is you won't have any subs off the bench in midfield. Sorry, Renato Vega. I'm assuming Malo Gusto will come back when he's fully fit.
He was on the bench, wasn't he?
Yeah, he came on as a sub. But for this game. But the 4-1-4-1, it's getting the best out of Enzo. I think it's actually helping Nico Jackson as well. So onwards and upwards. They're second in the table right now. Who would have thunk that?
Well, third on goal difference.
I don't believe in goal difference.
Third in goal difference. And they go to Southampton in midweek, so they can go again.
It's just constant disrespect for my boy Russell, man. Tottenham Hotspur held at home by Fulham 1-1. Jules, more inconsistency.
And they took the lead. But Fulham were the better team through the whole game. And really, the draw is fairish, but Fulham could have easily won that game too. No, Kulusevski was on the bench. Solanke was ill, so not even in the squad. And Spurs, I thought they really struggled everywhere.
Kulusevski comes on. He's on the bench. He comes on so that he can get absolutely clattered by Carney.
Yeah, as well.
Like, gee, thanks.
Yeah, with the red card in that game. Carney, who went on holidays. I went on holidays with him last. We were in the same hotel. We were
as you do.
Together, as we do in Spain. Lovely guy, but that was a nasty. He should have known better on that. I know it probably doesn't mean bad, but that was not a nice tackle on Kulusevski.
He didn't try to kick you when you were on holiday, or
no. He played keep you happy. He was obviously, as you can expect, very good with the ball.
Yeah, that's what I imagine. When
the ball can't fall. We play the ball can't fall.
Right. And was he better than you?
Yeah,
it was close.
Yeah,
close,
no, he's much younger as well. Maybe not as handsome, but much younger. Scott McTominay scored the only goal as Napoli win away to Torino to stay top of the table. Gab, were some of us too harsh on him when he was at United?
You're the one who was
No,
harsh on
I
him when he
not
was at
too harsh.
United.
Definitely not too harsh.
No, look, he's being used in a different role. This is vintage Conte, right?
Yeah.
In the end, he
felt like
talks, we
that.
spend money, blah blah blah. In the end, like I said, only three of the new signings are actually getting significant playing time. Buongiorno to stabilize the back.
Yeah.
Lukaku up front because they screwed up the Osimhen thing, and McTominay. And he's using McTominay as like a spoiler. Like, hey, you big man, go stand next to Lukaku.
Yeah,
Go make
it's like
runs
a
to
striker
midfield. So we
he's
got
now.
two big. That's basically what he is, and the system works because he's got a winger like Politano who comes back, which means Kvaratskhelia doesn't need to track back.
Yeah.
They could have scored more in this game. They were dominant from the start, and they're deservedly top of the table.